Hi guys, I'm back today with the Lamtto RC14 portable dashboard console, which will put Apple CarPlay or Android Auto in 99% of vehicles with just an easy 5-minute plug and play install. But not only that, the RC14 stands out from the crowd with a built-in 4K dashcam plus an optional 1080 reversing camera that doubles as a rear dashcam, so your vehicle's covered from both ends. The RC14 connects to your phone for easy navigation and music controls with a sleek unobtrusive screen on your dashboard to put the tech of the newest cars in any vehicle with a 12 to 36 volt port. And yes, your Bluetooth steering wheel controls will work when using this device. I've reviewed a whole bunch of these dashboard consoles now, and you can check those videos out on my channel, but I've been really impressed with this one, so I'm excited to share it with you. And just so you know, Lamtto provided the device for me to make this video, though all the thoughts and opinions are my own. If you like what you see, I've got affiliate links in the description below which help support this channel and make videos like this possible. Let's get stuck into the video. Getting the RC14 out of the relatively unbranded box, it's a really sleek device with a 9.26 inch touchscreen which has a resolution of 1600 by 600 pixels. There's a thin bezel around the screen, which is more obvious when you turn it on. Also in the box are a number of accessories to use with the RC14. Up first is the 12 volt to USB-C power cable, which also has a USB-A port on the end so you can power or charge another device like a phone at the same time. Then there's the first of two mounting options, the sticky pad mount. This design has an adjustable mounting plate which can be tilted and turned, and also has a flexible base which is a must for fixing to curved dashboards like mine. Overall, it's a discreet and nice looking mount and comes with a spare sticky pad which is always handy. Next is the second mounting option, a suction cup mount with an adjustable arm. The suction cup itself is very sticky and provides strong adhesion in addition to suction to a dashboard. The nice thing about this mount is that it isn't permanent, so you could use it in other vehicles, though it's a bit of a struggle to get it off as it's such a strong fix, and once removed it won't stick quite as well as the first time you used it. There's also a mounting plate included, in case that's needed for a rough dashboard surface. Then there's an aux audio cable for wired playing of music through your car speakers, a trim removal tool for hiding cables in your dashboard, and some sticky back cable clips. There's an optional rear view camera which has a 2.5mm jack on the end of a 6m cable and a red wire for connecting to your reversing light, so you can have an instant reversing camera too. There's a spare sticky pad and set of screws to help with the installation, but I'll go through all that and how the reversing camera works later in the video. Finally, to get you started, there's a thorough user manual in a number of languages, which covers pretty much everything you'll need to know. Going back to the screen, there's a power button on top, though the console does turn on automatically when it's plugged in and the car's ignition is turned on, and then on the back there's one of the most exciting features, the dashcam. The 4K camera module is very adaptable, with the ability to not only push it up for a better view from your dashboard, but also to tilt the lens around to different positions, which is handy for getting it pointed wherever you need it. The matte plastic on the back of the device is really smart, whilst the mechanism to raise the camera is firm, so the camera won't slide down with time or vehicle vibrations. In the centre of the console's back you have the 4 slots to attach the device to either the suction cup or sticky pad mount. And then there's a small built-in speaker next to it, and cooling vents above and below too. In the top left corner there's a manual reset button. On the side you have 4 connectivity ports, consisting of the 3.5mm aux port for wired audio, the micro SD card slot, and the RC14 comes with a 64GB card already in the device, a 2.5mm AV import for the rear view camera, and a USB-C port for powering the console. So let's get installing the Lamtto RC14 in a vehicle, and it really is a quick and easy 5-minute job that anyone could do themselves. First, choose either the suction cup or sticky pad mount and where you want to fix it. It could be on the dashboard or overhanging the existing radio. With the mount stuck down, simply attach the back of the device to the pins on the mount and plug the USB-C cable into the console's port, with the other end going into the vehicle's 12 volt socket. It's really as simple as that. Once the vehicle turns on, so will the RC14. The only other thing you could do is hide the wires. As you can see here, I've got a couple of wires hidden in the dashboard trim from another device to neaten it up. How to remove the trim is different for every vehicle, but most of it just pops off. That said, you could just tuck the wires in the edges using the trim tool and the sticky back cable clips provided. Plugging in the USB-C cable, the RC14 will power up automatically and show a loading screen image before moving to the home screen, and the device immediately starts recording through the front camera, just as a dashcam should. It takes 10 seconds to go from off to the home screen and 6 more seconds to start recording and be ready, whilst taking around 20 seconds to go from off to the Android Auto screen if you're using that function. Those sort of times are some of the quickest I've seen for dashboard consoles, so it's clearly a nice speedy device. You've got a lovely bright display which is very crisp, sharp and colourful. The layout feels clean and uncluttered compared to some previous devices I've reviewed. If you're seeing a few artifacts or lines on the screen as we go through the apps, it's purely my camera and not the console display, which is perfectly clear, and filming it with the camera really doesn't do it justice. Let's get started with the apps, and on the left you have the home button at the top, and below that the brightness button. Pressing it brings up the adjustable bar, and there isn't much lag on it at all. Press the sun symbol and auto brightness will come on, which is controlled by the sensor just visible on the left screen bezel. The next button is the sound button, and this is a changeable button based on how you're listening to music on the device. If the headphone symbol is showing, then you're listening via a wired aux cable and you'll be taken to the audio output page. If the speaker symbol is showing, you're using the built-in speaker, so we'll get a volume bar to turn it down. You can also get an FM symbol for playback through a radio signal, and a Bluetooth symbol for wireless playback through your vehicle. The fourth and final button on the left-hand menu is the dashcam, and here you can view the cameras that are recording. It's worth noting here that the RC14 can shoot footage in up to 4K, but it came set in 2.5K, though I'll go through how to change that in the settings a little later. Along the bottom of the camera screen are a number of buttons to play with. The first is to stop or start recording, and don't forget that it automatically starts recording as soon as the device is turned on. The next option is to lock the current clip so it can't be overwritten, or unlock it again. The third symbol is to take a photo of the current scene, which will capture in the resolution determined in the settings, whilst the fourth button is to return to the home screen. Next is a shortcut to the connectivity screen, which I'll go through shortly, and the last icon turns the device microphone off so you aren't recording sound on the dashcam while you're driving. Back on the home screen and moving to the right, the date and time feature prominently on the screen before a selection of 8 apps take up the other half of the display. First is CarPlay, and this is how you'll wirelessly connect to your iPhone via Bluetooth. Find the CarPlay device in your Bluetooth settings, go through the permissions and you'll be connected. Now when you turn the device on, it will automatically remember this connection and CarPlay will launch on the RC14 screen to play your music and navigate. On this screen you can access a number of connection options, and you'll notice as I move between them that you can't be connected to more than one option at a time, which is standard for these types of devices and also stops you using apps you shouldn't when driving. The next tab along the top is Android Auto, and you connect an Android phone to the RC14 in the same way you do an iPhone. Next is AirPlay, and if you have an iPhone, you can mirror your screen, so if you were watching a YouTube video on your phone, you could show it on the dashboard console with ease. Android phones don't have a similar function built in, but screencasting is also possible, though it's a little more long-winded. Tap the Android Cast tab and you'll get instructions to download the TC-Link app, a third-party app that will allow you to do much the same as AirPlay. I don't love these third-party apps, but they can be handy to have access to. The final tab is BT Music, which is separate from the CarPlay or Android Auto connection. If you have your phone connected to the RC14 via Bluetooth, but are not using CarPlay or Android Auto, then this is where you'll see what music you're playing. This allows wireless playback whilst retaining the use of your steering wheel controls. The trick to this is connecting your phone to the RC14 via CarPlay or Android Auto, and then connecting your phone to your car's Bluetooth. By doing this, your phone is telling the vehicle to play sound whilst telling the RC14 what to display. It's very clever stuff and a fantastic integration of third-party tech into a vehicle. It should be mentioned that not all dashboard consoles have this built in, so it's great that Lamtto have embraced this for the RC14. Going back to the home screen again, you'll see that all the tabs we've just covered are in fact individual apps on the home screen for quick access. As we've already covered the first 5 apps, next we'll head to the 6th one, Audio Output, and this again takes us to another page we've already seen, also accessible via the third button down on the left-hand side of the menu, and here you can choose how you want to hear your music. The next app to explore is Playback, and this is where you can view all of your dashcam videos, photos and locked content which are stored on the microSD card. It's really nice to have the ability to play back footage instantly on a big screen, as some dashcams don't offer screens at all anymore. The last tab is Settings, and there are a number of things to explore here. The first tab is General, and you can change the screensaver duration, let the device know which side of the road you drive on, choose how you want your split screen mode to look in CarPlay or Android Auto, and set your auto brightness parameters or toggle auto brightness on or off. Then there's Assistive Touch, and if turned on, when you use the CarPlay or Android Auto interfaces, a small movable button will appear which enables you to quickly access shortcuts. You can then clear connections, and this will reset all of your previous connections to devices. And finally, the Service button gives you a QR code to scan to access an installation video, details of how to change your startup screen, and update your firmware. The second tab along the top is all the camera settings, and first we have Resolution Record, which shows 720p, 1080p, 2.5K and 4K resolution for the front-facing lens. Next you can choose your segment duration, or how long you want your dashcam clip to be before it cuts and starts another clip. As with the majority of dashcams, once your memory card is full, the RC14 will start overwriting the earliest footage unless it's protected, so you always have the latest footage to hand and don't have to constantly clear your memory card, though you should format it regularly as good practice. Collision sensitivity is also adjustable, which is the G-sensor element which detects incidents automatically and protects footage provided the device is powered on. Next you have another way of turning the microphone on and off, and the ability to flip or mirror the rear view camera image to suit your preference. Parking Monitor provides settings for G-sensor sensitivity when the vehicle is parked up, as there is a 24-hour parking mode to detect and film incidents when you're away from the vehicle. This is a really great feature, though it requires an optional hardwiring kit. If you're interested in this, I've made a full in-depth step-by-step guide on how to hardwire a device just like this into your car. It's not as difficult as you'd think and would be worth it for that extra protection. I'll put a link to the video in the description below, or there should be one in the top right hand corner now. Finally, you have reverse line calibration, and although I don't have the camera plugged in, you can adjust the reversing lines you use to suit how you've installed the camera. For example, if it wasn't installed centrally, or you couldn't see certain areas, you could adjust the lines to make yourself aware of this when reversing. The final settings tab is System, and here you can choose your language, choose to turn on or off tapping sounds, change the date and time, check out your storage info based on the memory card you have in, format the memory card to wipe it, perform a factory reset on the device, and check the firmware version. Lastly, along the top right corner are symbols, but these aren't pressable and just denote your connectivity and recording status. The optional Full HD rear view camera offers the ability to have a rear dash cam to record what's going on behind, as well as doubling up as a reversing camera to help with parking and gauge distances. You don't have to do any additional wiring for the reversing function, but in order to get it installed you'll need to attach the camera to either the rear window using the sticky pad, or as I've done here, feed it through the inside of the rear door to the outside and screw the camera in place near the number plate. The long wire will need to be hidden in the vehicle, and then the camera can be adjusted to get the right filming angle and tightened. The only difference to use this as a reversing camera as well as a rear dash cam is that the red wire will need to be attached to the reversing light wire of the vehicle, so that when you put the car in reverse, the camera knows this and the RC14 device will automatically bring up the reversing camera screen. Most of the images you're seeing here are from the full detailed step-by-step video on how to install this type of rear view camera to the reversing light that I made recently, which you should see in the top right corner, but I'll also leave a link in the description below. It's really not as bad a job as you'd think and is well worth the effort. With a built-in 4K dashcam, you can expect some pretty reasonable image quality. Dashcams as a whole lack the quality of, say, a phone filming in 4K, as they have to capture and store so much footage in the smallest possible size, so it's always heavily compressed. That said, the RC14's footage is decent, considering it's a dashboard console first and a dashcam second. Number plates are clear in daytime recording, and important details are visible at night too. I did find, however, that the camera vibrates a little on my dashboard, but I have a van which isn't the smoothest ride anyway, so I've no doubt it would be a bit different if installed in a nicer vehicle. Here you can see 4K, 2.5K, 1080 and 720 footage of the front camera side by side so you can get an idea of the difference in resolutions. The Full HD rear camera is also good quality, though it doesn't have night vision, but having the dual purpose as a reversing camera too is a great addition. So how much will a smart CarPlay screen with a built-in 4K dashcam set you back? Well, not as much as you'd think. The Lamtto RC14 is actually great value, retailing at £160 or $199, though at the time of filming I could find regular prices of just over £100 or around $130, plus additional discounts are often offered. I've got affiliate links to the Lamtto website as well as Amazon and eBay links in the description below, so have a browse to find the best price. Buying through my links helps make videos like this possible at no extra cost to you. The Lamtto RC14 packs an awful lot into a sleek screen at a great price point. With the wide CarPlay display and a 4K dashcam, it's twice as functional a device for your vehicle. It's also quick to load, the software is stable, and it's easy to use too. I've had no problems during testing and feel like I have a quality piece of tech on my dashboard. Being able to put Apple CarPlay or Android Auto in pretty much any vehicle without the hassle of wiring and removing radio head units, or having to pay for a brand new vehicle, is a no-brainer, and the addition of the front and rear dashcams makes it twice as functional. If you've enjoyed this video and think I've earned it, please drop a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.